Hello everyone, thank you for coming. My name is Eric, and I will be presenting you about the actuation and flight control of high degrees of freedom dynamic morphing wing flight by shifting structure response. This is a work done by me, Adar Salagame, Paul Ghanem, and Dr. Ali Reza Ramezani from the Northeastern University Silicon Synapse Lab in Boston, USA. First, we begin with the introduction to elaborate on our motivation and goals for this project. So we are developing a small and lightweight flapping wing robot called Aerobat, which is shown over here. This is designed to mimic a bat flight. We draw inspiration from bats due to their highly agile aerial mobility, where they can showcase incredible agility and flexibility during flights. Bats do not have tail, so they solely rely on their wings to perform their flight, um, which making it's a very difficult challenge to control. So we have a bio-inspired bat robot shown over here, which is this is a small and lightweight robot, only weighs about 40 grams. It has a soft and rigid computational structure, which forms the linkages that defines the flapping gait, basically. So it has dynamically morphing wing over here, shown over here, so that can retract and expands in the middle of the gait. So it retracts during upstroke to minimize negative lift, and expands during the downstroke to maximize lift generation. And following that, doesn't have tail, so controlling its orientation will be a challenge. So the goal is to So the goal of this work is to show through simulation that we can stabilize this robot using a low-powered actuator to adjust the robot flapping gait. So basically, we directly control the orientation from flapping gait only, like actual bat robot does. So next is the introduction for the bat flapping gait and some of our uh, the the Armwing linkage mechanism that we use, that we call the computational structure. So bats have 46 modes involved in the bat flight, which is a lot, and with those modes they can exhibit like very flexible wing behavior as shown here. So during the upstroke, the wing folds inwards and twists to minimize the negative lift, so they can fly more efficiently in the air. So we're trying to capture that modes, and in this design here we capture two modes out of uh, all these 46 modes that bats exhibits. So we have, and these two modes allows the wing to fold during the upstroke. So we use a combination of hard and soft materials as shown here, but we do it in such a way that as the linkage is actuated at the base here with a motor, for example, it will show the flapping behavior as you can see over here. Currently, we have the digit for flapping and the digits for flexion and extension, which folds the wing and expands as within the gait period. So just to briefly show our most recent work with this, we have the robot flapping over here with and have this thrusters assisting it in correcting the orientation. As mentioned earlier, the lack of tail makes the robot pitch unstable, so we're still working on getting that stabilized with other methods, but currently this is the most recent work, and it's equipped with some camera to detect like all of these markers shown on the wall for localization and motion planning. So this is some sample image and the estimation of the pose based on this detected image. You'll see it updated in real time over here, and based on the detected markers on the wall. So it's flapping in front of these fan arrays, and it seems pretty stable with the assistance of the guard and the thrusters. So in this slide, we'll explore some of the existing flapping wing robots to compare with our work. So there are a lot of smaller vehicles such as robots such as like the robot insect flyers, such as RoboFly and RoboBee. These are very small could be like at most 1 centimeter, a couple centimeters in size. So there are robots of varying size as well. So such as the dash and blood over here. It's a ornithopter. There's a robot raven over here, which is large. And this has a fixed wing because like the wing does not bend like what we have. So there are examples of morphing wing robots such as this. We have the Bat robot by Ramezani in 2017, which has the wing can twist, and we have the RoboSuite and Pigeon bot, which can fold its wing. Abdurrahim robot by Abdurrahim as well, and particularly on the larger skies, we have the Smart Bird, and there's some unique flapping wing robot too, such as the with multi-modal capabilities such as this one. They can fold their wings and make it into walker robot, and then transform back to flapping wing robot after that. So there are plenty of examples, and we're dealing with our robot will be around this area on the smaller side, but not not small enough to be considered micro scale flyers. This slide shows the presentation outline. So we begin with the kinetic sculpture explanation and the primers, which is the low-powered actuators that we're going to use to control the robot. And we're going to proceed with the dynamic and aerodynamic modeling, which will be used in the simulation. The controller design, which you use to stabilize the orientation, and the simulation results and analysis, and then we finish with the conclusions and future work. So we have the Armwing transmission mechanism that briefly shown in the introduction, which consists of linkages mechanism right now. So it's driven by the motor over here, and it's this linkage mechanism form the flapping gait of the robot. Some of these linkages are very sensitive to change, so some small change in length over here can result in a larger overall change in the flapping gait. So we place these primers, which is a small powered actuator, to adjust the length of these linkages at specific location where it's most sensitive, to adjust the flapping gait of the robot. So basically, the bio-inspired Armwing mechanism in essence, in summary, is we have this linkage mechanism controlling the flapping gait. One motor to drive both sides of the wing. So one motor to drive both sides of the wing like this. So it's a symmetric flapping gait right now. But you can change the primer lengths to make it more imbalanced and use it for control. So each wing has 10 joints, 7 links if you count this, and 3 primers located over here, shown in blue. As mentioned in the previous slide, like we want to place the primers where it's most sensitive. So we did some sensitivity analysis to show that some 10% change of this primer length can cause a lot of change in the flapping behavior. So we have the joint trajectories here for this. This is the elbow joints, and this is the wingtip trajectory. And a change of 10% can lead to a large change in the overall flapping gait. This can result in we plan to use this kind of results for control purposes. So the primers mentioned in the last slide are placed where it's the most sensitive. So so this slide shows the dynamic modeling that we use in the simulation and also for control design. The entire derivations are pretty long, so we only provide the summarized version of it here. So in summary, we have 3 distinct components in the system. We have the computational structure, which defines the flapping gait. We have the dynamic system, which contains all of the mass component. And we have the aerodynamic model, which defines the forces acting on the wing. So the idea is that we have a computational structure that defines the flapping gait based on the linkage structure and lengths, right? So we have the primers adjusting the length of the wing to change the flapping trajectory. That will change the aerodynamic forces generated on these wings. So and then the forces are passed through the dynamic model back to the dynamic model to generate the range, to calculate the range acting on the body itself. So in summary, the form can be derived into these 2 equations over here. One is for the kinematic and dynamic states, and the other is for the aerodynamic model. So the input to the dynamic states are twofolds. Like one is the control inputs, which is the acceleration of the flapping, sorry, how fast the flapping period is, and the flapping gait rate basically, and the primer length itself. So this will and Y2 is the aerodynamic forces. So into this model we have the inputs and aerodynamic force, which we cannot directly control, but through the flapping gait hopefully we can control some of it modes. So the output of this system is Y1. We call it Y1 is the flapping trajectories that we'll be using in the aerodynamics model to calculate the lift and drag acting on the wing itself. So the aerodynamic model has using Wagner model has some aerodynamic states which is uncontrollable. We can't directly control them, I mean. So from this we have the trajectory Y1, and from Y1 we generate the output Y2, which is the aerodynamic forces acting on the wings. So next we plug this back in, so to estimate to calculate the rate of change of the dynamical states. So this cascade model is how we do the simulations and define the controller on for the robot. In this slide, we move to the control methods we use to adjust the primer length and stabilize the robot's orientation. So we're going to use nonlinear optimization method, nonlinear MPC, to control the robot by adjusting the lengths. We're trying to minimize this cost function in the prediction horizon n. So there's a rotation matrix over here. And our target rotation matrix is identity matrix. So one to track the zero roll, pitch, and yaw orientation, and this part here penalize the rate, the angular velocities. So we're just trying to minimize the perturbance of the robots, find you where it's minimize this cost function. And the constraints are developed in such a way that we're using some sort of like finite element methods. So it's like each wing is segmented into discrete plates, and on each plates basically are the control point for the aerodynamic forces, and we want to minimize this. Want to find inputs that follow these constraints, and also like to minimize the perturbations throughout the period. So more detail can be seen in the paper, but that's a general idea. So we test this controller to reject roll perturbation. We have initial roll, some initial roll disturbance applied to the robot. So on the first few flapping gait, it requires to have an asymmetric gait as shown over here on the top side. So these asymmetric gaits recover some of the some of this roll disturbance, and it allows it to reach the stable, almost symmetric gait as shown over here. So it's a pretty straightforward application of this, like the nonlinear MPC work to stabilize the system. This is some data of that simulation as shown here. This is the actuator length, the primer length, which is the primary way of control. The robot orientation. So we have the shoulder joint angle and elbow joint angles here, and you can see like a pretty big change in the elbow joint angle for the roll correction. So you can see the Euler angle on the roll has some disturbance here, and it finally recovers and reaches steady state. The pitch is somewhat unstable in the beginning and reach a stable limit cycle in the end. That's because of the as I mentioned earlier, like we do not have a tail stabilizer, so pitch tends to be more unstable than the other states, and it will be a challenge to control this. And anyway, like as you can see, like we have some stable velocities here. It's at the end it's gaining it's stable in the z-axis, and then like it's gaining some velocities in the fourth axis. So you can see the difference between left and right components of the primer lengths here, and yeah, this stabilize the orientation of the robot in the end. This slide is presented to complement the simulation results. So we have the aerodynamics model during the flapping gait. So over here in this plot here shows the vortex generated by the flapping gait as the robot doing at the end of the upstroke and at the during the entirety of the downstroke. So you can see the vortex generation during the upstroke, and then like the vortex reverse during the downstroke, and it follows like a certain vortex pattern, like following the aerodynamic model we use. We're using the infinitely long horseshoe vortex on the blade elements, which discretize the wing surface across from the base to the tip, and basically the vortex is actually smaller during the upstroke due to the folded structure. So this shows that the the efficiency of the flapping gait with the dynamically morphing wing. So in conclusions, we have employed a low power actuator to design an optimization based controller policy to stabilize the flapping wing dynamics, and we utilize a cascade model for dynamic and aerodynamic model in the simulation to embody the computational structure and aerodynamic interactions on the robot in the simulation. So for future work, we can try to implement this controller on the actual robot, and that would involve developing the robot where we implement low power actuators to adjust these linkages. That's it. Thank you for listening, and any questions?